As the sun set behind the old stone lodge, James Hawthorne stood nervously at the door, ready to begin his journey as a Mason. He had no idea that this night would change his life forever. James often felt like something was missing in his life. After working for years in a busy office, he wanted more purpose, more friends, and more meaning. When he heard about a local Masonic lodge, he was curious. The ideas of brotherhood and learning drew him in. As he stepped inside, he noticed the square and compass symbols on the walls, inviting him to learn more. After the initiation ceremony, the worshipful master explained what the square and compass meant. "The square," he said, "teaches us to be honest and fair, while the compass reminds us to control our feelings and think before we act." James listened carefully, realizing how much he needed these lessons in his own life. As the weeks went by, James dove into Masonic teachings. He learned that the square wasn't just a tool for builders. It was a reminder to always do the right thing. The compass, which draws circles, symbolized the need to set limits for himself. With each meeting, James began to use these lessons to help him make better choices. One evening at work, James faced a tough choice. He could take a shortcut to get a promotion, but it didn't feel right. Remembering the square and compass, he paused to think. The square told him to be honest, and the compass encouraged him to stick to his values. In that moment, he chose to do the right thing, even if it meant waiting longer for success. His decision earned him respect from his coworkers and made him feel proud of himself. After that, people at work started looking up to James. They noticed how fair and honest he was and began asking for his advice. He became a mentor, helping others with the same principles that had changed his life. The square and compass became more than just symbols. They were guiding lights in his everyday choices. Years later, James stood in front of a new initiate, ready to share his story. "The square and compass aren't just tools for Masons," he said. "They're guides for our lives. They teach us to build strong character and make good choices." He smiled, realizing how much the lessons had helped him grow. In that moment, surrounded by the symbols of the square and compass, James felt a deep sense of belonging. He had created a life filled with honesty and connection, and he inspired others to do the same.